Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn, Plan, Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to the morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is. Exactly what it is that I'm looking at. First of all, 100%, I apologize for the delay. I woke up even more sick today. But let's go ahead and go live. Tesla with a pretty solid pullback did release their Model Y yesterday. If you guys did not check that out, feel free to do so. Ticker symbol UGAS had a really nice push up. If you're looking at /NG, like how much it pushed up and how overextended it is. Yes, the MACD, because of the consolidation, is already showing signs of a potential reversal. But I'm gonna kind of like wait out to see if this is a peak formation, and if it is, then maybe looking into potentially degas as natural gas sells off and stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. Is there anything in specific, just so you guys can see? I haven't taken any trades whatsoever, so we're starting at 0. So I'm going to set my alert here. There we go. And I'm going to set an alert to see if this thing begins to make lower lows, right? So if we're not going to trade it right now, something that we can do is at least set our series of alerts. There we go. /GC, showing signs of a very consistent uptrend pattern. So it's been trading in between the middle and top VWAP. So that should be in favor of JNUG, right? We talked about this yesterday. So if this thing continues to make higher highs, then, due to the very aggressive sell-off that I had yesterday, I mean, we're kind of back at the same resistance that we were at yesterday. So you guys can see around 1065, and that's, almost exactly where we're at. So here we go. Do you guys see why, or why I'm watching ticker symbol, or /GC? Okay, so it looks like it's already bouncing. Yeah, there it goes. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time to see if, it actually begins to make higher highs and kind of go from there. /CL showing signs of a break of pattern. So it was trading between the middle and top VWAP. It did sell off below the middle VWAP already, and now it broke below the middle VWAP again. The EMA line is pointing down, and so is the SMA line. So I would kind of look out for that. Same thing with /NG as of right now. Check this out. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a position on Diaz. That's 100 shares. We're gonna start with that, and I'm gonna start it at 106. Whoa, that doesn't show. There goes natural gas pushed up, and there goes degas. Okay, 6:15. Here we go. So again, it was downtrending, right? So it built this margin. So based off previous patterns, the ideal goal would be to sell here. It doesn't mean that I actually have to. But as of right now, it was showing signs of a downtrend, begin to consolidate right around this channel area. Do you guys see this? So it began to consolidate, so it no longer was selling off. Began to consolidate, so it was selling off, right? 3 stages of a reversal, began to consolidate, and then began to make higher highs. Took my initial position, which is 1/3 of what I normally trade with. It was a little bit under $10,000, so it's actually a little bit less. And kind of just watching it now. So I have natural gas on my right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and follow up with /GC. So I would wait a little bit for a pullback here to see if it comes back before it continues to uptrend. But it definitely looks like the margin of profit is worth it in the sense of this. I just wish I was able to see what this meant for JNUG. Yeah, huge push up, 1.72%. What's going on, Matt? That's good. That's good. Super happy to hear that. We're getting some consolidation right around the middle view up for /CL. So we'll set 2 alerts. One for maybe higher highs and one for lows. So again, just setting that up. DRIP, downtrending, meaning that ticker symbol GUSH should be uptrending. How's that doing? Let's see. All right, here we go. What do you guys kind of see here? Do you guys see anything? Do you guys see anything here? Right? Based off previous patterns, it makes sense on why there could be a resistance here and why it could begin to pull back. So for that, for Luke, that just asked about ticker symbol, SQs, it would be the exact opposite, right? So if TQs was the one that was uptrending, then it's likely that we might see signs of a resistance here, and then we might see it begin to pull back. But let's just wait for that confirmation. Do you guys back at that support? Natural gas back at its resistance. We gotta break this MACD divergence. Perfect. So watch for the MACD and watch for the RSI. So we might pull back a little bit more on /GC. So again, it's very early within the day. So again, just a little reminder, no need to take a position. I don't know if you guys remember, but I didn't take my first position yesterday till probably like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours after the market opened. And I was still within like 3 to 4 hours of trading, and not even nonstop trading. I mean, I went to go get food. I went to the Porsche dealership to pick up the GT3 RS after its oil change, and did an inspection on it and stuff like that, and still was able to successfully day trade. So again, it's when the patterns and direction is in your favor. Rico, you and Diaz. Yeah, I just showed me buying some Diaz. What's going on, Jake? What's up? What's up? Here we go. /GC pulling back a little bit. Which ones do we have that are showing signs of a consistent uptrend? I mean, I don't think there's anything that is like clearly trending up right now. I mean, this in a sense, right? Because it's showing me to the middle and top view up. Just right now, we're in a little tricky situation. So it looks like it's trying to bounce here. There it goes. Wow, that's a really solid bounce. Who's watching /GC? Who are /CL broke above its resistance. Okay, there we go. So now it might be building a little support here, right? So consolidation, support, might be trying to bounce off that middle view up general area. Gush is trending up, yep. So we saw the inverse ETF, which is ticker symbol DRIP, downtrending. So it's building a solid support right now, though. So we might see a little bounce before it continues to downtrend. Wow, that's super cool. Thank you, Kevin. I really do appreciate that. I'm sorry I almost didn't read your message. I hope you know that you could always direct message me on Discord if you have any questions, as well as I'd love to talk if you have anything that you wanted to share. But thank you again for that. Do you guys mind if you guys excuse me for like 1 second? I have to like blow my nose. Just 1 second. Sorry about that, team. Here we go. Nice little bounce. Still trading below the middle view up. So again, I would like to wait for it to break above the middle view up before I add more to my position. And I think I'm only going to add this one last one and not go with the full $30,000. I'd rather just stay a little bit less than that and feel comfortable. Natural gas is still consolidating like we showed you, right? So it's still kind of consolidating around this general area. So I had a really nice push up, drove the price up, became super overextended. It consolidated long enough that it went through the full MACD reversal. And then now it's showing signs of a peak formation. It makes sense on why it can continue to downtrend, as that was its previous direction. But, you know, I'm going to wait a little bit more for the confirmation. I can go super aggressive if I was a super aggressive, like, you know, day trader, because I know natural gas is super overbought. And if I think that it's going to continue to downtrend, which I really do, right, because of its overall direction, right, looking at it, it's been downtrending, and yes, it is kind of like not aggressively selling off as much as it was before. I still think that it has the potential to downtrend. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time. But yeah, just as much as it could go down, it could go up. So there's a form of like risk management that I want to have in mind, right? Genetic bullish movement. Yep. So we've been talking about /GC and it trying to show signs of a reversal. I don't know if the MACD is catching up with it, but it might need to consolidate here for some time for the MACD to go through that full reversal before it continues to uptrend. So just be aware of that. And we did talk about that before. /CL, kind of same thing going on here, consolidating around the middle VWAP. Looking a little bit closer, checking out that MACD. Again, it's not going through huge like momentum or anything like that, so I think these indicators will be valid. Oh man. I think Ricky is a penny stock. No, I don't trade any penny stocks. But thank you for the compliment. I think TVIX selling off, so should TQ. No, wow, okay. Building a resistance, right? So I'd like to set alerts on both of them. I really like setting alerts, as you guys can tell. Fuck off of the board. I know, yesterday we were talking about, or Justin and I, that I think this entire year I've been more sick. There's been more days that I've been sick that I have not been sick. It's really bad. So I didn't be taking more care of myself and stuff like that. And I lost an hour of sleep yesterday because of daylight savings, so that's even worse. Ticker symbol BA still selling off. So again, we've talked about this before. When anything has an aggressive sell-off, yes, it can try to push up, but then it gets rejected. It needs time. So again, don't be so quick to jump the gun. I think I saw someone talk about this, that they might be in this for a swing trade. It's great that you try to get in early. Hopefully you looked into it and you made sure that the news isn't detrimental to the company. But I think that it needs to be given a little bit more time. Okay. We just have to make sure, especially if you go in for a swing trade and then you add in more to your position today, that means that if you sell it today, even if you sell all of it today, or even just one share, that's considered a day trade. So just be well aware of that. So /GC just broke above its resistance, so that's really nice to see. It really is trying to build a cup formation. So, but yeah, I mean, when it comes down to so it sounds like you added more to your position size. I always make sure that when I add more to my position size, I think /NG is a perfect example of what I just said. DGAS is trending up and I'm waiting for it to break above the middle VWAP. I'll add one more time. I normally add 2 times on top of the initial one, so 3 times total. Just that right now, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable trading with such a large amount, you don't need to go all in every single time you trade. If the margin of profit is worth it and the setup is worth it, great. If it's not and it's still a good trade, but the margin of profit isn't huge, then why add multiple times when the margin isn't worth it? Like, you could do the math and just make sense of it that it just was not worth it. So waiting for natural gas here. Natural gas is getting really close to, or DGAS is getting really close to that middle VWAP. Here we go. Now I'm trying to push back up again. I should eat a lot of fruits, but yeah. Oh, what aircrafts? Oh, the Boeing. Here we go. Yeah, looks like natural gas is trying to build the support again. Oh, okay. Are you interested in Tesla cars and Model X? That's pretty fast. I'm interested in anything that's a good deal, especially at this point. So we have people that, as you guys can imagine, for those that can care less about cars, I'm sorry, but I think this goes hand in hand with anything that's you guys know that I like to invest in cars, and I mean it when I say that. I don't care what it is. I'll buy a Toyota Camry. If it's a good deal, like I'll buy it and I'll drive it. I have no desire to buy anything else. I'm so blessed, so thankful for what I've been, what I've worked for. Now that it's not even about like, after I bought my GTR when I was 21, everything else is just like a cherry on top. And if I get a blessing to one day own a Tesla, then just know it's because I got a really good deal, which I made sense of, being able to sell it for a profit. That's the only reason I'll buy any car moving forward. Maybe one day if I do, extremely, extremely well, then there's a reason I could buy a car brand new. But even then, I can't make sense of it. So natural gas just broke below that middle VWAP, so this is where I'll be adding more to my position size. But yeah, I don't care too much about. I'm a car guy, but I don't like losing money. So I feel like I'm more of my buddy Justin, right? My partner for Technical Solutions and Learn Plan Profit. He's a huge car guy, and his goal is still to buy a GTR. Caleb, one of the mentors within Flipping Wheels, his goal is to buy a Tesla Model X. And then we got Weston, whose goal is to buy a Nissan GTR. So my goal now is more of just like, I love working with them and not helping them. They're the ones that are working super hard to, get there. But just being there for the journey. I think that's the most like beautiful part about anything. Is, the day that I was able to buy the GTR, that was a special day for me. So I would just love to be able to like capture that day for these guys as well. So, and I think the same thing will go for a lot of you. Once you guys start doing like, a lot of you guys do already extremely well. But more when it comes down to like investing in cars, you start to care less about, well, at least for me, I don't know if I'm different. But you begin to care less about, just the actual car itself, and more of like just how much money you can make off of it, is a good investment, and stuff like that. So motorhomes, I'm not too sure about motorhomes. I know people have done it with like go-karts, and smaller things. I don't know about motorhomes. I'll have to follow up with Caleb and Weston and ask him, how's Ismail? Ismail's good. He should be in this chat. Not too sure if he is. All of us got really sick, and he was the last one to get sick. So, yeah, but he's doing well. Ricky, do you use a custom buy and then include stop limit? No, I just use my limit buy and my limit sell. Flip my Mazda 3 2013 for $1,200 profit. That's amazing. I will still say this, if your goal is to build up capital, I know that investing in cars is not a glorified market. Like, you have to physically go to these locations and stuff like that. But trust me, like, in my honest opinion, in my experience, that's all I could speak of. It's much easier to see success in investing in cars than I think investing in any other market. Stocks, Forex, crypto, drop shipping, all that stuff. In my honest opinion, if your goal was to pay for the Learn Plan Profit course as you're learning how to trade, pay for the Flipping Wheels course, pay for your schooling, whatever it is that you have racked up, if you have like $5,000 in credit card debt, I honestly think that you'd be able to do it in like less than a year. Even starting with like $5,000. Caleb is a perfect example, and I want to film a video with him. I think he made $15,000 in the past 4 weeks. So he's been killing it, and I think it's been with like a $10,000 or $7,000 investment or something like that. There we go, nice little push up. Again, I'm trying to not look at my P&L as it has no correlation, right, to like what it is that I'm doing. I'm looking at /NG. We can see this thing pulling back a little bit, so might want to give it a little bit more time. might lock in profits. We are approaching this middle view up, so I just think that it can continue to downtrend. You crack me up. Yeah, no, it happens, right? It's all part of the game. Yeah. There's actually a video that I wanted to make about like, because I know people that, like people view my things as like materialistic things. Like the only thing that I really have that's materialistic are my cars, right? But then when I tell people I make money off of my cars, there's still like a huge disconnect. People don't believe it. I know people that make money off of like super expensive shoes and that have a huge passion for expensive clothing. And I think it really doesn't matter like what your passion is. Like if you have a passion for, I don't know, what's like a weird thing. Even this isn't weird, but like let's say you have a passion for watches, and you buy like Rolexes and APs and I don't know what else is expensive. Justin talks about it all the time. You can make an absolute killing, like flipping those watches. You need to understand the market, but people would normally see those things as very like flashy things. But it doesn't matter what other people think as long as you are doing something that you're knowledgeable in, that you have a passion for, and that is actually making you money. Like just be real with yourself. If you understand that market, and if it's a market that not a lot of people like dabble in, everything is getting so congested now. So if you could find something like computers or again, computers are pretty congested, that's a bad example, but something that's like just coming out, right? And you have a huge passion for it. I'm sure you can make an absolute killing on it. So, you guys, are these pens? Yeah, and like I'm sure there's people that collect pens. There's people that collect money, right? There's so many like weird little niches within the market of that. They're collector items and people just or they're desirable items. So, I don't think it really matters like what you do. We all have our own little quirk, right? For me, it's like kind of like my cars, but I found a way that like it makes sense to me on how I can make money, and I really do enjoy it. So it's not even the money that like now that why I do it, as in like why I continue to do it, but I love the game of like finding these deals and selling it, just like trading. I love the game of finding these like really good deals, which then I can sell for a profit. But yeah, sounds dumb, but I collect stamps. It doesn't matter if that's something that you enjoy to do and it makes you happy. And for who cares like what anybody else says? Trust me, if you start making videos about collecting stamps, I can guarantee you like yes, some people will laugh and some people will make fun of you, but then you'll also connect with probably some of the most like-minded people that you'll ever meet, and that's the power of the internet. So just depends on like what if you're someone that's like really young and you can be like impressionable like really easily, then maybe don't make too many YouTube videos. People are like really mean on like social media, so just be aware of that. But if you're someone that thinks that they could take it and just wants to connect with other people, then I would say go for it. I would love to, even if I watch one of your videos and I can see how passionate you are about them and I can see the excitement, people love being around people that are happy. So like, am I the best, investor or trader in the world in the different things that I do? I wouldn't say at all that I'm the best, but I feel like I do well in a lot of the markets that I invest in or trade in. And I feel like I have a positive attitude, and that's what people find attractive. So it's not even about like being the best, just surrounding yourself with people that are similar to you. I think there has to be a balance. So like, what do you think about being passionate about a bunch of things, but not a huge of anything specific? I think you should have a really nice balance. I think some people could also be like misled very easily, because like if you have if you have a talent for like football, but like you suck, like I don't know, just be real with yourself. You should always have, like, while I was trading and while I was like, even after I had four properties, and I had my McLaren, I had my Z06, I didn't even have one prime profit at the time. I had just TechBuzz, which was free, was not producing any revenue. My YouTube wasn't producing really any revenue or anything like that. Um, I I was like still working at my normal job, but I was working like three times, four times as hard as the normal person going to school, because like I had to be real with myself. Like I had to have a stable income to qualify for my real estate properties, and then I was pursuing things on the side that I was passionate about. So if you have a passion for something and it's not making you money now, yes, you can like go all in and not have a normal job, but I just don't think that that's like the most conservative approach. I'd rather just work harder, and try to juggle both, um, and see if I can make my dreams come true while still, being like everyone else and having a normal job. I think that's the goal for everyone. Like, what if you want to be financially free? I think a better question to ask you is like, what does that even mean to you? I don't understand what that means. What does financially free mean? Not have to worry about like living paycheck to paycheck or making no financially free for someone that doesn't spend a lot of money, can have some residual income of like $3,000 a month, and it covers their rent, covers their living expenses, and they're maybe traveling the world, or they're a professional surfer, or they just surf for fun. Like, what does financially free mean to you? I think that's a better question. Like, what is an amount of money that you would be comfortable with living with? Um, be real with yourself. Again, that's like, I think what's most important. This is a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked this. Like, I promise you. At what age did you start seriously trading and committing to stocks? People always ask when I first got started, right? When I first got introduced to the market. It was when I was 14. It's kind of like all of you guys. Like, when did you guys first get started in entrepreneurship? Maybe you started your like lemonade stand at a very young age, right? Well, for me, it was like when a little bit like after like 18, is when I started. I would say like maybe 19, when I started to do it every single day. um, and that's when it like, not necessarily became a source of income, but when I started to like, I'm gonna make this like actually work for me. It's not when I first started, but I think that's the amazing thing about this is like, if you guys have kids, if you guys have people that you would like to have a positive impact in, it's not even about like that. I think the stock market is the best market for everybody, but I think the concepts that I learned in the market at a very early age are what helped me understand investing in cars super quickly, what helped me understand investing in real estate super quickly, and it just wired me in a way that made it that much easier for me to like, um, fit very well with like, I think the general market of entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So, um, I think that's a great thing about it. It's like, if you want to have a positive impact, not only on yourself based off what you're pursuing, but based on on other people, maybe bring someone along the journey. Like, you paid for the course, great. Um, maybe having someone like join you once a week and slowly start teaching them what you're learning. And I can promise you, I can promise you on this, what while you're learning, if you begin to teach others what you're learning, the material will stick that much better. um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to try it out first. So I'm so sorry for coughing so much, team. Ricky, even though I don't care for cars, I do think your life advice between trades is really awesome because you're just honest and real with people. I appreciate that, Kurt. I can only like talk about like the markets that I invest in, right? So like, I can't really talk about watches because I have no experience with that, or with like, um, what are those expensive shoes? The Yeezys? Yeah, Yeezys, and like the 350 or whatever they're called. I know people that make a bunch of money off of them. And I know people within One Prime Profit, actually. There's a guy that talked to me about it that was going to buy me like Yeezys. But I think I told him that I wouldn't appreciate it as much as probably a person that, you guys know, like I buy 2 pairs of shoes. Actually, I think I've only bought one pair of shoes the past year, and those are my Converse. And everyone, if you guys checked out my Instagram post, one of the most common comments is, the first one is about my shirt, the second one is about my shoes and how disgusting they are. I just don't appreciate shoes. Um, Not really. I used to, but yeah. Um, Piper, Corvette, Mustang, love the American cars. I see. I think you'd get along with Justin. Anything so much, I agree. I tell people about training at work, even though I'm paper trained, I can answer basic questions. Yeah, I think that's great, Alec. And it's not even about like you teaching other people. It's gonna like make you more money or anything like that. It's literally about just like trying to have a positive impact or influence on other people. There's a video that I watched. I should really probably consider selling this thing. I'm talking a little bit too much. Wow, that's not up very much. I'm just gonna have my limit order ready. Let's see if we still stick above the email line. But yeah, I don't even think it's about, it's just like growing as a person. I think you grow a lot as you try to teach others. And it also wires you in a way that makes you appreciate like learning new things. So, as you teach someone something new, they might be able to like give some feedback back, and that can teach you something new, and then it just goes on from there. And there's just so many like, I can't even get started, like so many different things that can happen as you begin to like network with other people, and the different benefits that they can bring to the table. One of the videos that I made a while back is like about complementing talents, right? Where someone's talent in one part, or part of a company can complement your talent, and then you can actually build a sustainable company or business or partnership because of that. And I think that's like a very important thing. When you have two very talented people in drawing, but no talent in like execution, then it doesn't make much sense, right? Because the partnership is like, you just have two very talented people in drawing, but no one who could actually execute or maybe market the product. But if you have a very talented marketer and a very talented, content creator, then that could be a, complementing partnership. I'm so well that a Hispanic is doing well in the market. There's a lot of Mexicans that are, or Hispanics that are doing well in the market, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope you're getting better. Thank you, Eva. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't feel any better today. I woke up with a fever today, but I knew I had to go live, so I was pretty pumped. Yeah, sometimes it sucks waking up early, especially now, because market opens like much earlier or an hour earlier, but yeah. Ricky, how do you tell how many shares are being traded? You could hover over the little candle bar. It tells you over here of how many shares were traded within that minute, or whatever the bar is. Because if you have a 5-minute time frame, then it's different. Are you still on a consistent workout schedule? No, I really messed that up after I got sick. I got really and I still want to give a huge shout out to Ava and stuff like that. But I got really sick in Europe. Almost, I think the most sick I ever got. Like, had a really high fever. I think I would say 103 to 104. And I'm known to get really high fevers. And I was sweating like there was no tomorrow. I was too weak to do anything. I was nauseous, so I couldn't keep any food down. And I was in a foreign country, so I felt like poop. But yeah. Ricky, if you get a free account with Ameritrade, does it knock you out of the commission-free trading if you wait a while to fund it? Don't worry about that, Jim. You can. I don't know if you guys know this. You guys can open multiple TD Ameritrade accounts. So like, let's say you start with your free account, you don't fund it at all, and you just use it to do on-demand trading. Great. Do it for like however long it is that you want to do. You're just using it for scans, for stocks, building a watch list, technical analysis. It doesn't matter. Once you're ready to fund your account, call TD Ameritrade and be like, hey, I want to open up a new account. And they could close the old one and open the new one. And then they could put in that promo code. I think it's promo 220, or they might have a new one now. And you can start with, the 500 free trades. I actually think they lowered it to like 300 free trades or something like that. Ricky really knew that trend was with like-minded individuals. It would be too. I'm really excited. Yeah, we're still looking at more buildings. I actually wanted to run a poll of like how many people within the Phoenix area would actually come to that facility like every day. Because then we're thinking of like how big does that facility need to be, or should we just host the events there like, once a month or twice a month, or like some people were talking about like in-person trainings for more like one-on-one assistance and stuff like that. So if you guys have like a very simple and short answer to that, feel free to direct message me of what you think, and I'll run that past my team. They always give you free trades. You got 500 free trades or 3 months of free. Yep. Make it smaller and use the space wisely. Yep. Okay. Nice. Here we go. I think piano. I think Ava responded to you. We're slacking today. I'm struggling to make some money. We're green, so I can't complain, but it's not even that much. So natural gas is still, I can move this up a little bit more because natural gas, let me show you why. I know it's been a slow morning, but we're consolidating here. So if it continues to consolidate and build a horizontal pattern, I'll sell my position. So I'll set my alert here. But the EMA line is still pointing down, and it still has a little bit more margin to go. So there is a potential that it can continue to downtrend, which is then in favor of degas. Sweet. Yeah, no, flights are... There we go. Okay. Wow, that jumped up a lot. Sold 190 with 50 cents. Here we go, just so you guys could see it and see where I bought. So bought, averaged up, sold. Became a little bit on the overextended side. And now the natural gas is approaching this SMA line, so just watch out for that. So because it pushed down so aggressively, we might see it try to pull back before it continues to downtrend. So again, you guys know that I lock in profits like pretty early. I'm fine with that. I don't care too much about like every single penny. And there it goes, pushing up. So if you think that it's going to continue to downtrend, then watch it closely. I'm going to give it a little bit more time to identify its direction. Is JNEG forming a head and shoulders? Let's check it out. Okay, I see what you're talking about. With this being the head and these being the shoulders. It's still uptrending. So yeah, it's not really making higher highs, and we could, it's a pattern, so you're recognizing a pattern. If you're scared that it's going to be continue to downtrend, I'd lock in profits and not give it the chance to continue to downtrend. I would just try to play it as in like if you see it bouncing off the middle VWAP, just like I did yesterday, buying the lows and selling the highs, we could see this thing consolidate for quite some time. /GC. Yeah, it's kind of just hanging there. So not a lot of, again, and Samantha, I know you know this, but like yesterday we talked a lot about being very selective with what you choose to trade. I'm not sure if you're under the PD2 rule, but you have 3 opportunities to make the most out of those day trades, to make the most, to see the most growth. And is this really something that like you see a lot of value in? If it is, great. If it's not, just remind yourself that, hey, I have time, so I'm just gonna chill out and kind of go from there. So how did you predict that? There's no prediction or anything like that, Kevin. It's all about, I saw that, natural gas, like first direction, right? That's a huge focus. Natural gas was selling off. It had a huge push up and became super overbought. So now it becomes overbought and not a good deal. And then it broke below, its consolidation kind of support and began to make lower lows and lower highs. The EMA line was pointing down. It was building a support here. I told you that, yes, it could break below the middle VWAP, but if it broke below 2.77 and began to show signs of an uptrend, then it's validating the middle VWAP as a support. It could have gone both ways. So that's why I was watching it closer. I don't know if you heard me say that, but luckily it played in my favor. It broke below the middle VWAP. It pushed down super aggressive, and I locked in profits. So that's how I played it. So I was focusing on direction. I was focusing on the pattern. And those were the 2 main focuses, and making sure that the opportunity cost was worth it. So as soon as I saw that thing pushed down very aggressively, I kind of called it a day or a trade. Huge push up for natural gas now. That's pretty crazy. Again, who knew that was going to happen? I knew that it could potentially bounce here, but I didn't know that no one knows that it's going to push up that much. So now I'm going to wait for this thing to become a little bit more overbought, and maybe I'll take another position on DGAS. But, yeah, so. I would focus on, there's nothing wrong with you tuning in, but I wouldn't begin to implement. So I would begin to practice everything it is that you are learning in the course. I wouldn't try to aggressively trade, especially with real money, before you complete the entire course. And even when you do complete it, there's going to be a series of parts. So again, we talked about this multiple times. Natural gas is selling off again, so just watch out for it. But being able to try to teach someone what it is that you are learning as you're learning it, and practice it so it sticks. Again, there's no purpose. You could complete the course 10 times, but if the material doesn't stick and you just rush through it, what's the point? It's better to, be a little bit more like you have time. That's the biggest thing. So take your time, work through the course, make sure the material sticks, and then, don't be afraid to try to teach others what you're learning. So, yeah. Do you think that you guys will rally up back to the morning resistance? I think it can. I don't think it's a very descending pattern, so I think it's going to try to, but I think it will get rejected. It's a downtrend pattern still. How long have we been live for? Oh, wow, 50 minutes almost. Okay, well, that's it for today. Here we go, building the support right around the 283 to 284 for Tesla, with a resistance right on here. Not a huge margin, but nice little pattern. Drip is still selling off. So again, if Drip is selling off, just to talk about ETFs that are trending up, ticker symbol cash, trending up. DWT is trending down, meaning UWT is pushing up. So again, it did that all day yesterday. We got SQs trending down, so TQs pushing up. Nice. Boeing is selling off, so still trending between the middle and bottom VWAP. We all know what that means. And JDST trending down, meaning that JNEG is trending up. So, in natural gas, I still think it's too early to tell. So let's give it more time. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun today. I know I didn't make the most money while trading today live, but I still think that we talked about very interesting topics and answered a lot of questions, did a lot of breakdowns. I shared my thought process on why I bought and why I sold. And again, there's a reason behind everything it is that I was doing. And it made sense to me. So that's why I felt comfortable doing it. And I had a plan, right? I was talking about my plan the entire time. You guys saw exactly what it was that I was doing. So again, it's not about the money. It's about the reasoning behind your trade. And that's what's most important. Anybody can get lucky, right? There's a lot of people that traded BPTH when it pushed up like 500%. And people that just got started, or people that have been trading and got super lucky and made 100% growth. Doesn't mean that they're any better traders than you, because what's most important is consistency and understanding what it is that you are doing. And if you don't have either one of those, then again, it's great that you made that money, but you probably won't last very long in the market. And I think that's what you should remind yourself is like, you are here to become self-sufficient, to understand what it is that you are doing, and consistently grow your account. So what does it mean to consistently grow your account? You have to consistently manage your risk, meaning cutting losses, and you have to become a true professional in that. And you also need to make sure that you become more familiar with patterns and find your niche within the market. That people make fun of me all the time for trading the same ticker, time after time. There's a guy that said, I don't even really think Ricky's a trader. He just trades natural gas. I was like, I don't even know what that means. If I buy and sell Honda Civics and I make 6 figures a year buying and selling Honda Civics, how is someone that sells one Ferrari and makes $20,000 profit any better than I am? They're not, right? It's about what works well for you, and just you're not here to prove yourself to anybody. So again, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. Again, be selective, be conservative, lock in profits, manage that risk, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.